Hello, my fellow voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human. Today, talking about how to get off the roller coaster, both in life, in your emotions, in your manifesting game, how to get off the roller coaster for good. Welcome to Odyssey Human. This is a channel where we talk about emotional mastery, advanced manifesting, extended human capabilities, and more, and we're exploring the outer reaches of human consciousness and the human experience. I am so glad you're here. Welcome. So this video kind of is a continuation of what I talked about last week about the ultimate self-care routine. If you haven't already checked out that video, I highly recommend it. Go ahead and I'll put the link above so that we can kind of get you grounded, and go ahead and watch that one first and come back to this one. Because this is kind of the bigger, we're going to continue zooming out, right? Last week, I kind of dove into how to really care about yourself by managing your language, right? We have two faculties that we can control. And well, that are, the ones that really leverage our states of being. And that is our language. What story are we telling? How are we describing something? How are we framing it? And our second one, of course, is our attention. Where is our attention going? And as we stabilize ourselves, as we kind of, I talked about language last week, as we zoom back and look at also throwing attention into the mix, all of this kind of starts to tie together. This is where emotional mastery and manifesting start to overlap, because a lot of people come to manifesting from a place of pain, right? When we talk about the roller coaster, there's a lot of pain and sadness and grief, and I need this thing, I don't have it, and I'm found this magical thing called manifesting, and I'm gonna figure out how to do it so that I can get this thing back, right? And that feeling of missing something, that's where we find manifesting. That's where I found manifesting. It was like, oh my gosh, I can recreate this thing, this person, this situation, this, this is magic. But the beautiful paradox of it, as we get deeper and deeper into learning about this, is that you have to learn how to quit needing the thing to feel good. And I think there's a bit of resentment. I know I felt resentment when I first, really, I have to learn how to detach from this. I have to let it go. Are you kidding me? I had so much resistance to that. It annoyed me. I was like, not doing that. So what is required here is actually a complete change in mindset. Learning manifesting, learning emotional mastery is essentially stopping all of our old cognitive habits, right? Just kind of leaving them alone, leaving them behind, and forming new ones that better manage our states of being, and then get us what we want, where we're not getting caught in these really deep needing and longing and craving states for something, because we know on an intellectual level, and then we start to know on a practical level, that everything is us, everything is consciousness, everything you will ever experience is contained within you, even me, your perception of me right now, the pieces that you're picking out of what I'm saying, your understanding and comprehension of what I'm telling you right now is your version of me, right? Just like I'm imagining you, I'm imagining who is watching this video and how they're being impacted by what I'm saying and trying to connect with them. I am creating a version of who I think my viewers are, who you are, in my mind, and speaking to that. But that is only contained within my consciousness. So it's these interesting, as we're learning and growing and getting better at manifesting and learning about consciousness, we realize that it is all us. But then we start to draw that intellectual knowledge down into the practical world and know it on a body level of wow, I'm actually seeing how I choose where I'm going in my consciousness, and then the effects of that in my body, my feeling states. So, and that's where as we improve our control over our emotional states, that's when we get really good at manifesting, because we don't need something, right? And in the absence of needing, that implies having, or at least being receptive to having, right? Because it's those really deep longing, needing states that keeps whatever it is at the perception of separation, right? Nothing is ever separate from us because we're creating our entire experience. We're choosing it. We're choosing our entire experience. I talked about how creation's already done, and so just being able to leave those states behind, choose something different, acknowledging them as a cognitive habit that's creating that state of being, that negative feeling, that longing, and then leaving it behind, letting it be, and choosing to act differently, do differently, be differently. So, and you know what? If wanting something is the carrot that gets us there, which for most of us it is, for me it was. It's just like, I'm going to learn how to do this whether it kills me or not. If wanting is that carrot that we're just like, okay, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to learn how to do this on our path to what is essentially claiming all of ourselves, claiming our full power, recognizing that we're in this incredible simulation of consciousness and taking full responsibility for it, taking full, power, taking all of our power back, and then recognizing, wow, I've never lacked anything. It's all contained within me. And so that's where we cross into not only emotional mastery, but manifestational mastery as we learn these things and then apply them. So I want to propose a bigger concept today of getting off the roller coaster, because when we're trying to manifest something, again, when we want something, there's often a roller coaster effect. And this happens because we're putting, we really want this thing. It's up here. We imagine our life with it and it feels so good and it's so juicy when we're visualizing it or talking about it. It's like, oh yeah, I want to be there. I want to be there. And then we open our eyes and we go back to our life. And what happens is, this thing's up here and then, oh, it's back to normal. So we get on this kind of roller coaster effect of, putting this thing up on a pedestal. That's where people talk about pedestal. But then our normal waking life, our regular life, is kind of humdrum, boring, same old, right? And what I want to propose to you is it's easier, when we're told to feel the fulfillment of having that thing, feel the relief, all the feelings that you would feel if you had that thing. Recognize that it probably, realistically, it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster, but realistically, you would also, you'd be more, having that thing, having that fulfillment would be more of a consistent state of fulfillment, right? Where fulfillment in that thing would be your normal. And there wouldn't be all of this. There wouldn't be the roller coaster. So how do we do this? And my proposal to you, and what I have found in my life, is when I just am trying to create something that I think is going to make me really happy. Having it would make me so happy and joyful and fulfilled. But then I keep the rest of my life the same. It makes it really hard to stay in that fulfillment, to stay in that joy. So what I'm proposing is, let's level it up. Instead of doing this, bring the rest of your life up to the same level that you would be at if this thing were in your life. And how do we do this practically? A lot of people will say self-love. Practice self-love. Really love yourself. And what that looks like to me is living your best life. What I think when you really, really crave something and want something and want to claim it and be that person, you've got to juice up the rest of your life. When you open your eyes back into reality after visualizing what you want, I want your life to be just as incredible as it is when you imagine it to be in the place that you want to be, to have the thing you want to have. What does that mean? It means treating yourself really well. Again, I talked about it last week. I'll link the video again. Making sure your thoughts are pleasant, they're enjoyable, they're filled with love. If love is what you want, fill them with love. Love on yourself, love on the world. Just saturate your world with love. And that's exactly how you're going to feel when you're in a love bubble with someone, right? When you're in that perfect relationship. And, or, treating yourself really well if you want to be a millionaire, or you like live the richness in the rest of your life. Bring the rest of your life up. That doesn't mean going out and spending a ton of money. That means like lavishing yourself and being like, I can afford this, telling yourself I can afford this, and, looking at the world in the rest of your life as if you're already there. So live your best life, live your best waking life. And then what happens is we start, as we're doing this, another tip I want to give you is to anchor inside, not outside. Anchor your well-being inside yourself. So what are our two faculties? Attention. Continue to turn your attention in, and continue to tailor your language in to you to make you feel good. To, talk yourself up, love on yourself all day long. Instead of worrying about what you have to do, think about like, I'm an incredible person. My life is so fulfilling. It's so fulfilling. And you start to foster these states where you get off the roller coaster, because your normal life, your 3D life, your sense of well-being starts to elevate. And then you get to the level where you would be if you already had this thing naturally. If you're living your best life, regardless or not of having this thing, you're already feeling that fulfillment, that satisfaction. And that allows you to let go a little more. Because of that thing that you want, that person, that situation, that money, that job, if you're denying yourself feeling good the other 99.9% of the time until you get that thing, you're missing out. You're denying yourself that, so allow yourself to feel that good. And then it's easier to be like, oh yeah, you hold more lightly to the thing that you're looking for, the thing you want to connect with, the thing you want to embody and be, because it's all you. It's all inside your consciousness. Whatever you are craving that looks like it's outside, it's inside you. And equalizing the roller coaster, again, is going to help you feel better now. Feel like my life is really amazing, and it's okay if this thing comes in, and it's okay if it doesn't. And that's when the magic happens, right? When we don't perceive this, we don't have this inequality. When we get off the roller coaster, and then we start to feel naturally, fulfilled, whole, satisfied all the time, because we've invested into living our best life. So what does living your best life look like? I remember this feeling as a child. I remember just being in love, just embodying pure love. I was probably around 6 or 7 years old, just approaching the world with curiosity, just being excited to be alive, waking up every day thinking, knowing that I loved myself and the world loved me. And I remember when I lost that feeling, or I perceived that I lost that feeling, as I went to school and I got bullied, and it was so hard. I remember crying every day and feeling like, oh, this horrible feeling sinking in, and perceiving or interpreting that I had lost that. And as we reclaim that, I don't know if you can remember that from being a child, or maybe you never lost it. If you didn't, that's awesome. If you remember that feeling of just joy to be alive, and excitement and curiosity and fun in the now moment. There was no ruminating about the past or the future. It was just the now moment was just this beautiful, juicy, that kind of feeling. Cultivating that will, again, that's going to bring you up, get you off the roller coaster, anchoring to that. And then you can really, knowing that that's always there inside of you. That feeling is always accessible, no matter what's happening on the outside, no matter what circumstances are happening. It's always accessible to you, because everything you experience is you. So you can access any state at any time with the snap of a finger. So anchor your states to that. Find it, cultivate it, and anchor to that. And then you can lean into life completely fearlessly and be in experiences that you would normally would really make you upset or unpleasant. And you're just going to be there for the experience, but anchor your emotional state to this something deeper inside of yourself. right? Most people anchor to the 3D reality. They ride the roller coaster emotionally of what's happening outside because their thoughts and their attention are just constantly focused on what's happening in their circumstances. And if we do that, we ride the roller coaster of life. We're going to feel highs and lows. Whatever is happening in our 3D, we're going to be just reacting to that, as opposed to anchoring to something stable, our awareness, who we are, the knowing that we're everything, everywhere, all at once. Anchor to that. Anchor to that. Like really put your anchor in that. And you get off the roller coaster. And then you can just continue to go up and up, make your thoughts better and better, focus your attention more and more on the inside and doing what you want and choosing the things that make you happy. You're more able to live in bliss when you do this too. You're more able to be like, I choose this because it feels good. I choose this because my intuition is telling me to do that. You start to shed a lot of those old stories of I have to do this, I should do this, that make us miserable, burned out, stressed, all that stuff. So let me know what you thought. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Hope this helps you get off the roller coaster and live your best life. Go live it now and everything you want will come right into you. Have a fabulous day.